Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Seth from ScreaminFX.com, and today what I'm going to show you is how my amp sounded through different stages of changing the tubes. And so I'm starting with a JCM900 amp, and what I did was change out the main power tubes, and I put JJ6L6 tubes in there, and I also changed out the preamp tubes, and I have two. I had a JJ tube, and then I also got a Sylvania tube. And what you'll see is that throughout the video I changed this tube between a JJ and the Sylvania to try to see what I liked better. The reason I did that is that's actually the first tube. I'm not sure how great you can see it, but if you look at the schematic, your sound is basically coming in and going through, and that's really the first tube that it hits, and so it has a larger effect on what your sound will be like. If you can even see this amp, it's got a lot of op amps in here, which is why a lot of people sometimes complain about this amp, but hopefully you'll like the way it sounds. And what I did throughout all the different demonstrations is I kept all of the knobbies here basically on middle so that you could get a neutral sound, and then you can always adjust it as it comes along. And what happened was, after I changed out the tubes and I had new in there and everything, I kind of wanted to get just a little bit more bass and growl to the amplifier. And I changed out one of the capacitors in there, actually two of the capacitors, one in the clean stage and one in the boost stage. So let me show you what I did. You actually have to be really careful when you work in one of these amplifiers because it's got very high voltages. And this one I was measuring around 480 volts. And so what I was talking about with the capacitors is I changed out the C25 and I basically added another capacitor in parallel with it. And what that did was add a little bit more capacitance. And the reason I did that is to allow more of your bass signal through. If you looked at the schematic right here, you could see that your C25 was actually only 47 nanofarads, which is actually pretty small. So that's why I changed that one. And then I also added some capacitance to C27, which is coming into your main gain line here. And that lets a little more bass too, and it gives it a little bit more punch. So that's the main changes. You can see right here, that's the resistor that I used to measure the bias level. And so I biased this amp right at about 33.8 milliamps, and it was about 480 volts. So take a look, you can listen to the sounds and everything, and hope you like the video. Thanks.